Los Angeles already. Yes, I was in Los Angeles. I had just moved out there to try to work as an actor. I had gotten a few roles, and it was before I had done Swingers. So it was kind of in that phase where I was probably just starting to write and just starting to think about doing things beyond just acting. But it was a time of, where I had a lot of, I wasn't a kid, so I wasn't that aware of Lion King as a kid would be, but it was the type of movie that somehow it kind of echoed throughout the whole world. And when I went to see it, even as an adult, it was very impactful, and I understood how great the story was and the music was.
Everything you see exists together in a delicate balance.
To me, the more natural it looks, the more beautiful it looks, which is very hard. And I learned that with visual effects long before this, because if you do a visual effects shot and you have to put a sky in, the artists always put a beautiful sky in, but if you look at a real movie, real movies don't always have a beautiful sky. So I try to create rules that emulate what a live action film would really be like. And that goes not just for this movie, and not just for Jungle Book, but Iron Man, any of them. So we tried to apply it so that it didn't look like the real world, but looked like a real movie. And so we tried to limit ourselves to what we'd be able to achieve if we really took cameras out and filmed this in Africa.
Run away, Simba, and never return.
I know I love the movie Babe, right? And in Babe, I never felt that I wished that Babe made faces. Back then they used a real pig, and they used a little bit of CGI to make the mouth move. It was very subtle, but I felt tremendous connection to that character through the voice, through the editing, through the storytelling, through the music. And also when I watch documentaries, I feel tremendous emotion. So we thought early on, because if this ended up having too much facial expression and be too stylized, it would be redundant with the old movie, and I think also with the photorealism, it would feel strange. Pixar gets away with a lot because they stylize things in the tradition of animation. But we tried to make this, even though it's animated, we tried to make it fit within the tradition of how you would animate a live-action animal in a live-action movie. And in that, like with Mowgli, you have to have an animal that's right next to a live human. And just because we didn't have any real people in this, we didn't want to create a whole different tone. I felt much more limited with this one compared to Jungle Book. Jungle Book, people knew Jungle Book, but they didn't know it every scene. There was room to update it, to improve it, to help build out different characters, expand. Here the old movie works pretty good. 25 years ago, it's still pretty good. And but fortunately, there's also been a play, and the play expanded on certain things too. And then it's kind of based on Hamlet too. So you could draw from a lot of different places, but there were certain sequences that you couldn't really mess with because people know them so well, like Circle of Life or Hakuna Matata. There were certain things people have come to expect. It's like seeing your favorite band play the songs off their albums. You want to hear the songs as you remember them. And certain scenes are like that too, but there's a lot of it that you don't remember as well as you think you do. And that's where we took a lot of liberty. We expanded certain characters and certain scenes. But yet, I think if people were to fill out a questionnaire after seeing the movie, they wouldn't necessarily remember exactly what we changed or not. So it should feel like the old movie, but we actually took a lot of liberty, but hopefully in a way that's not distracting. Well, first of all, my favorite Mexican food isn't just from restaurants. The El Pastor tacos in Mexico City are fantastic. But I also have chefs that I know. So I had Guillermo, and I had David Chang. I went to Contramar. Oh boy, that seafood was incredible. They have that delicious grilled fish with the green and the red, and it's a red snapper. That's fantastic. And the ceviche, just everything. I haven't had a bad meal here. Everything I've eaten has been fantastic. The chicken mole I had at El Cardenal that Guillermo recommended me go to, the Tres Leches cake. The food's fantastic. But only because now, last time I was here, in 2008 I was here for Iron Man. But I didn't know that much about food then, and I didn't know to take advantage of everything the city has to offer in that way. So it's really been a lovely trip.
You must take your place in the circle of life.